1,600 homeless people died in the UK last year. The toll, which was mostly from suicide and drug-related deaths, includes 11 children and represents a 9% year-on-year increase. The government has described the numbers as an abject failure and says it's taking steps to expand accommodation for rough sleepers and tackle the causes of homelessness. Well, we can talk now to Arif Voraji, who's founder of the charity Help the Homeless Leicester. Good to see you, Arif. Welcome to the programme. So you work with homeless people, don't you? What can conditions be like for people who are on the streets? What kind of challenges do they face?
It's a variety of things. It really is. I mean, you've got, for example, some people might have literacy issues. Some people might have issues with like internet. For example, finding somewhere where they can connect to the internet to claim for certain benefits, etc. And then some people just don't have a clue about how to go about, navigating the system, which is it's not easy, especially, when people are already worried about where they may be sleeping at night, where they're going to get the next meal. So that's why it's important for, I guess, charities like ours and other charities and organisations to be there to support people in their time of need.
And we've seen this rise in deaths of homeless people. 1,600 homeless people died in the UK last year, and that's mainly because of suicide and drug problems. Is that a common story?
It is, unfortunately. I mean, the life expectancy of someone who's, living the street lifestyle, rough sleeping, it's about, a third of their life is cut off, the expectancy is. And we've seen that many times, unfortunately. It's just really sad. People in the 40s passing away. Like you said, sometimes it is down to the addiction issues, the health implications that kind of come as a byproduct of whatever substance they may be abusing or, may be using. So yeah, it's really sad, unfortunately, that people have to die because of, I guess, some of the choices they make. But that's the harsh reality of kind of where we're at, unfortunately.
And these figures, perhaps even more shockingly, include 11 children. Is it usual to have homeless children on the streets in the UK?
I wouldn't say it's usual, but it does happen. Just something as simple as, I wouldn't say simple, but something like, for example, say there's a domestic violence issue where, for example, one partner's beating the other partner up, and then the other partner's had enough and decides to leave with the children, got nowhere to go, got no support networks. Where do they turn to? And, unfortunately, that could be the children maybe sleeping on the streets that night. If they don't get picked up by the system, by the police, or by another organisation, and they end up spending a night on, in the park or something, in winter when it gets -2, -3, it could be tragic. So it does happen, unfortunately, and just, again, that's just the sad reality of kind of where we're at in this country. It's not a good situation at all.
So clearly homelessness comes from lots of different places. The government says it wants to tackle what it describes as the root causes of homelessness. What are they? What can cause it in the first place?
There's obviously the affordable housing is a big one. And then the cost of living crisis, we keep hearing, that's a word we hear all the time, but unfortunately you can see, everyone feels the pinch. You can see the cost of, food items, the bills are increasing. How do people make ends meet? And then, like I said, the lack of affordable housing as well. People on the waiting list for council properties. We're now working with families as well who are in temporary accommodation, waiting for council properties. It really is a big burden on the systems now. If you imagine how much strain the local authorities and the councils are under, and then you've got people that may not go to them for whatever reason that may be, whether they just don't know where to go. So again, when you've got services like ours, it's vital that we kind of make them breakthroughs and get down to the people that are kind of going through this and living this experience, to try and make sure that they come out of it as soon as possible and with a positive outcome as well, which is, I can only speak for Leicester with regards to obviously the way the authorities work, and Leicester are quite proactive. The council here are very good, but again, they work with a lot of organisations like ourselves, and that is why it's key that everybody works together to make sure that people can find some kind of resolve to the situation they're in.
Arif, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us today. That's Arif Voraji from Help the Homeless Leicester.